So in this video, what we are going to be going through is what you get inside the 80/20 Life Hacks program. Okay, so let's go through it. The first thing that you get on demand are these three things. So access to a step-by-step training on how to implement the 80/20 Life Hacks. So you're gonna have a tailored plan of action, which I'm gonna also show you as well. Everyone goes through that, and it's incredibly beneficial. It's made in such a way that you can maximize the the knowledge which you're given, and that you can implement it gradually in an order where it becomes easy to do that. So I've been through many online courses, I've done loads of programs and all sorts, and many times the knowledge is great, but the method of actioning them is not great. And that really is what's needed. And sometimes I had to create my own action programs to implement that. And I realized not everyone does this. And this is incredibly beneficial. Okay, so you're going to have access to all the step by step training. That's the first thing. The second thing is access to our done for you tools, systems, and processes for all the 80/20 life hacks. So that is transferring the knowledge into practice. That's what you're going to get. The ability or the tools to actually use the knowledge. Having the knowledge is one thing, but having the tool to help you implement the knowledge is something else. And that's what's needed here. So, and I've made all of these myself. I use them for me, and I want you to be able to use them for you as well. Okay, then you get access to the one-to-one recordings with previous students. There are actually one-to-ones, and there are also group sessions as well, and they are there as bonuses for you to watch within the program. Now, that will answer maybe 60% of your questions, and if you watch them, 60% of your questions are answered, which means that when you come on the live group sessions, which I'll talk about shortly, you can actually ask questions that are more relevant to you that you don't have the answer to just yet. Okay, so that those are the things within the program. They're on demand. You can have them straight away as soon as you access the program. Second thing is the support. So the first support that we have is 2 weekly group coaching calls via Zoom, and it's one's on a weekday evening, one's on a weekend morning. Sometimes they're moved slightly, but generally a weekday evening and a weekend morning. And in the future, what I will most likely be doing is providing 4 group coaching sessions throughout the week. And the reason for that is one will be on module one on module two, one on module three, and one on module four. And you'll see what the 4 modules are shortly. That way, everyone can be at different levels and just jump on the group session which is relevant to them. And that way, you're not hearing questions all to do with slightly different modules and so on. You can come on the session which you're on, and all of those questions will be relevant to you in that moment. Okay, so the second support you get is one-to-one text support, accountability text support. So this is unlimited personalized questions. It means you can text me, you get my WhatsApp number, personal WhatsApp number, you can message me and I will respond to you within 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes a little bit later maybe, but sometimes I will leave your question and I'll let you know that we will answer this question on the next group session. And the reason for that is it requires a detailed answer or a very specific answer to you. So that there's many different ways of answering that. It can be a text message. I might send a voice note, which I love doing. If I'm walking and out and about, I'll text a voice note. I might send a video. And the reason I might send the video is I'll use that for social media. But your name, your and question will be, your name will be anonymous, but it will be used for marketing, because if you have that question, many other people will too. So it might be that I'll turn that into a video. Fourth one, of course, is the group sessions that I've mentioned. And fifth one, I might answer it in our Facebook group as well. So it could go in there. Okay, so there is a sixth one. I might even record my screen like I'm doing now. I'll record my screen and send you the answer like that. So there's different ways that I can get to you. Okay, get to you with the answer. The next one is the WhatsApp group tech support community. Now, I personally prefer if you ask questions in there, because there's a lot of other people who are also doing the program that are, have similar questions. So if you ask a question in there, they can support, they can give their a version of the answer and their experience, and you might get the answer from them even faster than from me. What I also sometimes do is your questions that you send me privately, I will then copy and paste them and put them into the group without your name being mentioned, and that way everyone gets to benefit as well. There is a weekly accountability text. So this one here is not accountability. This is just tech support, one-to-one tech support. This one is accountability, and that is where once a week I send you a text message on WhatsApp as a broadcast to everyone, and to see where you are going, where you currently are, what your goals are this week, what you're trying to achieve, what habits you're trying to create, and then by the end of the week or the next week, you can tell me how did you do. So it's an accountability to ask you how was last week and what are your plans for the next week. So last week, future week coming. So that's once a week as well. Now this is how it works. When you first join the program, you start with an onboarding call. Okay, so the onboarding call is to get you set up for success. That's what the onboarding call is. I make sure you've got the Zoom links for the group sessions. I make sure you've got access to the program itself, and I just make sure that you've watched this video as well, and a few other things that will do, to onboard you to success. Basically, it's getting you started. Make sure those things are done. Once those first few things are done, you've got access and you know where to start. You begin the 80/20 roadmap. So this is our roadmap to high performance living using 80/20 life hacks, and there's a 90-day plan, and I'm going to show you that 90-day plan as well. So that's where you actually start. You start going through the program, and you've got your plan. Okay, with the how the in terms of how it works, the weekly accountability support is very important. I would want you to join that, and that's why I make sure in this onboarding session here that you have the Zoom links to join. Okay, and then you've got the 24/7 access to community support, and you can share your wins in there, in the WhatsApp group, in the Facebook group. I'll also make sure that you have access to the client only Facebook group as well. So that's done here during the onboarding. So this is all how it works. You've got the onboarding number one, then you've got the 90-day roadmap, and with that 90-day roadmap, you've got the two main areas of support: the weekly group coaching, which is the main one, and the 24/7 community, and of course, you've got one-to-one, text message support, as mentioned up here. Okay, so that's going to be how it works. The one-to-one is part of the community, but the group one is the real important one where you're going to come and listen and benefit in detail, because that's where I'm making sure that where you're on in terms of the module, questions are being answered, and so on. So I would say this is the main support, the group coaching weekly, bi-weekly. So let's look at what the roadmap is. So this is the 90-day plan roadmap that you will actually go through. So roadmap to high performance living using 80/20 life hacks. There's a monthly structure and then there's a weekly structure, which we'll see shortly. The monthly structure is this. So with module one, I call it Design Your Life Hacks. It's approximately 5 hours. There is a lesson in each one is approximately 1 hour. There's 5 lessons. The first lesson is called the 80/20 self-analysis. Now, in this lesson, what you'll be doing is, there's a video that explains it. There is a tool that you'll be using. So I'm not going to go through that here, but that's where you'll start. And when I normally begin with people, they would have already done part one of this lesson as well. So you may know it. Okay, so then there's 80/20 time management, the 80/20 morning routine, the 80/20 night routine, the 80/20 sleep. And they're all approximately 1 hour lessons. They have their group sessions and one-to-one sessions are bonuses that you can watch as well. But the actual main lesson, is that long. Now, when these 5 are mastered, everything else is ready to be enhanced. Without this foundation, everything else sooner or later fails. So without designing your life, it doesn't matter what else you want to do in terms of, improving your life, having a balanced life externally, internally. It doesn't work without having, proper time management, designing your life, okay, and the hacks that go with that. Once you've done that, the second month, what we'll focus on is these. It's all emotional based and energy based. So the internal life hacks, again, is approximately 5 hours. This module is. We start with 80/20 personalities, then we go to the 80/20 ego, then the 80/20 emotions, 80/20 tragedies, dealing with daily tragedies, weekly, monthly, yearly tragedies, because they do come every so often, and then dealing with the 80/20 energy. Okay, so once you learn all of this, very powerful, probably the most important module of all three is this one. Once you've learned all this, then it will be, on the third one. But let me share with you this part here. Our inner world has huge ripples in our outer world. Balancing these and managing them effectively leads to a powerful and positive mental state, and as a result, even physical health improves. So, if you want to have a balanced life externally, you have to have it internally as well. It really isn't possible to have one without the other. It will just be like a show, then. It'll just be a show. So the third month, this is what we'll be focusing on, is all the outer balance relationships. So that's what they are. All the outer balance is basically all the relationship hacks. So it's approximately 7 hours, because the marriage one is slightly longer, and so are some of these. So we've got 80-20 marriage, 80-20 parents, 80-20 family, 80-20 friends, and 80-20 colleagues. So five major relationships in our life that we have to deal with. And so a lot of the times everything we're doing is for some of these relationships. For some of us it's these two, for some of us it's this. If everyone is slightly different. Okay, so that is the third module. These are the five core relationships in our life that have the greatest impact on us. Mastering them brings about a lot of permanent relief, not temporary relief, permanent relief, as a lot of what we do daily is for these relationships. Now, the fourth module is a bonus module. If you're here today, you want a balanced life. You want to be a high performer. And after the third module, you generally would have achieved that. Now, there is a question that what's beyond balance? What is after, attaining a balanced life? Well, it's advanced life hacks. I call it beyond balance, but it is advanced life hacks. And it's approximately 10 hours this module is because there's the 80-20 millionaire money management system. Once you've got a very balanced life, you need to have balance with your finances as well, a perfect balance and harmony with your finances so that all the negative emotions are removed and you don't even need to think about money. It's not on your mind. So then there's the 80-20 bad habit management. And this one, I did a 3-week series on this, and I've put this into this program as a bonus because bad habits can pull us down. And we need to overcome those bad habits, and we need to know the 80-20 hacks that can really help us master and manage our bad habits. And that's what that's there for. And then there's the sexual energy transmutation lesson, which I also did a 3-week series on. And that is also about improving your life beyond balance and using that in some wonderful ways. Okay, these take you to another level of being, but only when the three core modules are in order. Now, so I've mentioned above the four modules, well, the three modules plus the bonus module, and they're over the period of the 4 months. Normally, I will give you 3 months access to all of this. You'll have access to it forever, but the program will be for 90 days. And the fourth one, you can have that, and you can possibly do that on your own. If I give you the special offer that you have a fourth month for free, then that's there. But that depends on the call. Okay, so there's the 4 months. Now, the weekly structure is very important. This is what I want you to do on a weekly basis throughout each month so that you have structure on how to take all this in. Okay. The 4 weeks of each month will be structured as follows. Week one is listen and watch the lessons. All I want you to do in the first week is learn. That's all I want you to do. Just watch the lessons and learn the knowledge. You don't need to worry about implementation. You don't need to worry about doing this, doing that, and so on. You just learn. Okay. Week two is all about reflecting and asking questions in both group sessions. So come on in the first week when you come on the group sessions, you're just asking questions to learn. But in the second week, you're asking questions. You're reflecting. So in other words, you're reflecting and you're planning. Okay, you're reflecting, you're planning, and you're going to ask questions in the group. So here, when you ask questions to learn. Ask to learn. Yeah. Here, when you ask questions, you're asking questions to plan. So, so listen and watch lessons, ask to learn. Okay, and here is ask to plan. Okay, um, the week three is about applying and giving feedback in the group sessions. So this is the actual time where you apply. Okay, so you apply So let me just put here that each week during the group sessions, there's a thing to do for you. So in the first week, you can see ask, listen, watch lessons, and ask to learn. Okay, reflect, planning, and ask to plan. Okay, to help plan. In the third one, it's applying, and then you're not asking anything. You're giving feedback in the group sessions, giving feedback. Okay, so let me put here in group sessions for these as well. In group sessions. So in the fourth week, what would it be then? In the fourth week, you're creating habits, and strengthening those habits, because a habit cannot be built over just 1 week. It takes approximately 21 to 66 days somewhere in this region. So then you're creating the habit by making it stronger and stronger and stronger. And then when you come in the group sessions, it again is just giving feedback. Okay, so it's just feedback. So that is the process for the 4 weeks. And the exact same thing happens in month two, but in month two, it's going to be about the second module. So the same happens in all subsequent months. The first half of the month can be summarized in learning and planning. The second half of the month is focused on implementation. This way, there's less pressure, but there's plenty of motivation to get through it. Plenty of motivation because you're on the group sessions twice a week, or 4 times a week in the future. Okay, so now this is my goals for you. This is what I want you to achieve. I want you to design your life the way you can for maximum performance, to maximize your life, to achieve the most that you possibly can. I want you to achieve inner balance and emotional and energy. Okay, so with emotions and energy, because they're the two main things when it comes to inner balance. The third one would be thoughts as well, but emotions and energy are the main ones. Achieve outer balance in all your relationships. So in your relationships, have this wonderful balance in them as well. To outsource and systemize low value tasks and only focus on high valued financial and high valued emotional tasks. That is one of the biggest key that you could do in your life that can open doors for you in achieving the biggest things in the world. It's one of the biggest 80/20 life hacks you can achieve. It's so big that it's not just a life hack, it's a life principle. Okay. Increase your productivity, less time wasted, so you can earn more and do more of what you love. So these are the things that I want you to achieve from this. Okay. And then there is the beyond balance, the money, the bad habit, and um, we have sexual energy transmutation. That's taking you beyond balance. That's a bonus. So this is just to summarize. This is what we've looked at. We've looked at what you get: the on-demand access, the live training, the tools, and the previous one-to-one recordings and group. Then you get the support, the 2 weekly sessions, the text message support, the WhatsApp group community, and the weekly accountability text. Then we've got how it works. You've got the onboarding, then you go through the 90-day program plus a month bonus. Then you've got the support to go with it the whole time, as well as the 24/7 community. Then you've got here the roadmap that you will be going through. All 4 months have a structure, and then every week of the month has a structure for you as well. So please do watch this video and go through it and make sure you've understood it. And then in the next session, you'll get to speak to me live. Okay, thank you.